Most people think they need a lot of money to change their life. They believe that wealth is something only the lucky ones can have. But the truth is, every great success begins with something small. A single step, a single choice, a single idea. This book is not about becoming rich overnight. It is about learning how to grow, one simple step at a time. Because wealth is not only about money, it is about mindset, patience, and the way you use what you already have. Think about it. If you cannot manage $10, how will you manage 10,000? The habits you build with small amounts become the foundation for big success. You do not need to wait for the right moment. You do not need to wait for more money. You can begin right now with what is in your hand. The goal of this journey is to teach you how to see opportunity everywhere. You will learn how to make money work for you instead of working for money forever. You will learn how small actions, done daily, can change your entire future. You will learn that every dollar can become a seed that can grow into something beautiful. This is not a story of luck. This is a story of choice. You have the power to begin where you are, with what you have. You can take your $10 and build something meaningful. The question is not how much you start with. The question is whether you are willing to start at all. So take a deep breath. Forget the fear. Forget the excuses. And let us begin this journey together. Because what you are about to discover is this. Even the smallest beginning can lead to a life of freedom and abundance. Now, let us begin with the first lesson. Chapter 1. The Hidden Power of Small Beginnings. Every big story starts with something small. A tree begins with a seed. A river begins with a drop. And wealth begins with a single act of courage. You do not need to wait for a huge amount of money. You only need to begin with what you have. Most people never start because they believe they need more. They think they need better tools, more knowledge, or perfect timing. But perfection is a trap. The real power lies in starting where you are. Even $10 can be the beginning of something great. When you take that small step, you send a message to yourself. You say, I am ready to build my future. That small action changes the way you think. You stop seeing yourself as helpless, and you start seeing yourself as capable. The act of beginning gives birth to confidence. The world teaches us to look for big wins. It praises the final success, but forgets the early struggles. Nobody talks about the first tiny steps. But those steps are what build strong foundations. The first time you choose to save instead of spend, you win. The first time you choose to learn instead of waste, you grow. That is how small beginnings turn into great results. Think of every small act as a seed. You plant it today, but you do not see results right away. Still, you must trust the process. The seed is working underground, even if your eyes cannot see it. In the same way, your first $10 may look small, but it is powerful. It carries the energy of discipline, choice, and belief. When you decide to save or invest a small amount, you are building a new identity. You are telling yourself that you are a builder, not a consumer. This simple mental shift is where true wealth begins. It is not about the money itself. It is about the mindset behind it. A person who learns to grow $10 can grow 100, 1,000, or even more, because the principle never changes. Money grows where attention flows. If you give your money direction, it will serve you. If you ignore it, it will disappear. The hidden power of small beginnings is consistency. When you repeat small good actions every day, they become habits. And habits build your destiny. Saving a little every day looks boring at first, but it shapes your future quietly. Over time, those small actions begin to multiply. You become more aware, more careful, and more confident. Remember, success is not about doing one big thing once. It is about doing the right thing many times. The magic is in the repetition. One coin saved, one idea learned, one habit built. Each of them is a step closer to your goal. Never look down on small beginnings. Do not let anyone tell you that your start is too small. The world is full of people who waited for the perfect moment and never began. Do not be one of them. Start where you are, even if it looks tiny. The moment you begin, the universe begins to help you. When you take your first step, something inside you changes forever. You realize that wealth is not far away. It was always inside you, waiting to be expressed. The journey does not start when you have a lot. It starts when you believe that what you have is enough to begin. So look at the $10 in your hand. See it not as a limit, but as a beginning. A small start filled with big promise. Because once you start, you are already ahead of those who never do. And now that you understand the power of beginning, let us go deeper. In the next chapter, we will learn how to change the way you see money. Because your vision decides your value. Chapter 2. Change the way you see money. Money is one of the most misunderstood things in the world. People love it, fear it, chase it, and lose it. But few truly understand what it is. Money is not just paper or coins, it is energy. It is a reflection of your habits, your thoughts, and your choices. The way you see money decides how money behaves in your life. If you see it as something hard to get, it will always run from you. If you see it as a friend and a tool, it will come to you with ease. Money listens to the story you tell yourself about it. Most people grow up hearing that money is the root of all problems. They are told that rich people are greedy or selfish. These ideas live quietly in the mind and shape how we act. When you believe money is bad, you push it away without even knowing. But the truth is, money is neither good nor bad. It is only a mirror that shows who you are. If you are kind, money gives you more power to do good. If you are careless, money increases your mistakes. So instead of blaming money, learn to understand it, respect it, and it will respect you. When you have $10 in your hand, do not see it as small. See it as a seed that can grow. If you treat small money with care, large money will trust you later. Every dollar deserves purpose. You must tell your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Money grows under attention and dies in ignorance. If you spend without thinking, it disappears. If you plan, it multiplies. So begin by giving your money direction. Decide that every single coin you own will serve your future, not destroy it. This shift in vision is powerful. When you start respecting your $10, you start respecting yourself. You begin to understand that wealth is not an accident. It is a result of clarity and responsibility. Do not look at someone rich and feel jealous. Look and learn. Ask how they think, how they decide, and how they value money. The rich are not lucky. They are disciplined. They understand the value of every single dollar. They give it meaning before they spend it. Money flows where purpose grows. If your goal is clear, money will find its way to you. But if you are confused or careless, it will leave you quickly. That is why many people earn a lot, yet end up with nothing. They treat money like a guest instead of a partner. The moment you change your relationship with money, your results begin to change. You stop chasing it and start attracting it. You stop fearing it and start managing it. You stop wasting it and start using it to build freedom. Your $10 is not small. It is a teacher. It is your first lesson in power, patience, and purpose. If you can guide it well, it will teach you more than any book or course. The poor mind says, I will think about money when I have more. The rich mind says, I will think wisely now so I can have more later. That is the difference. It is not about the amount. It is about awareness. You must train your eyes to see opportunity instead of limitation. Every coin you touch is a tool. Every decision you make with it shapes your destiny. When you master your mindset, you master your money. So begin today. Look at your $10 again. This time, see potential, not lack. See a beginning, not an end. See a story waiting to be written. Because the truth is simple. When you change the way you see money, money changes the way it sees you. And now that your eyes are open to a new vision, it is time to move to the next step. In the following chapter, we will discover the rule of the first step. This is where thought turns into action. Chapter 3. The rule of the first step. Every great journey begins with one small step. It does not matter how tiny that step is. What matters is that you take it. The rule of the first step is simple. Start before you feel ready. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment. They plan, they dream, and they prepare, but they never move. They want everything to be safe, clear, and comfortable. But that perfect time never arrives. There will always be fear, doubt, and excuses. Action is what separates dreamers from doers. The first step is the bridge between your thoughts and your reality. Until you take it, your dream remains only a wish. But once you move, even a little, life begins to open new doors. You start to see paths that were invisible before. If you have $10, you already have enough to begin. You can use it to learn something useful, to test an idea, or to start saving. It is not the amount that matters. It is the action behind it. The act of using what you have is a powerful signal to the universe. It says you are serious about growth. When you take the first step, you build momentum. Momentum creates energy. Energy creates confidence. And confidence brings more action. This is how small moves lead to big change. The first step also kills fear. Fear grows in stillness. It whispers that you are not ready, not smart enough, or not capable. But the moment you act, fear loses its voice. You begin to feel your own strength. Even if you fail, you learn. Even if it goes wrong, you gain experience. Every action teaches something valuable. You can always adjust your direction later, but you cannot adjust something that never began. Think of a mountain. From far away, it looks impossible to climb. But when you take the first step, it becomes smaller. Step by step, it turns into a series of small climbs. That is how success works. You do not conquer the whole mountain in one day. You conquer it one small step at a time. The rule of the first step also applies to money. When you start managing even a tiny amount, you are preparing for more. You are training your mind to think like a builder. You are creating a pattern of discipline that will serve you forever. Many people say they will save when they earn more. But if you cannot save a little, you will never save a lot. The habit must come first. The amount will follow later. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you move closer to freedom. Your $10 may not change your world today, but it will change you. It will give you confidence, focus, and pride. It will remind you that you are not waiting anymore. You are building. Action is the language of faith. When you act, you prove that you believe in yourself. You no longer hope for change, you create it. That first small move becomes the spark that lights the fire of progress. So take the first step today. Use what you have. Do what you can. Start now, not tomorrow. Because once you move, you gain power. And that power will carry you forward more than any plan ever could. Remember this always. The first step may not be perfect, but it is priceless. It is the key that unlocks every other door. And as you keep walking, each step will show you the next one. That is how journeys unfold. That is how wealth grows. And that is how dreams turn real. Now that you understand the power of movement, it is time to learn what to move toward. In the next chapter, we will explore how learning comes before earning. Because knowledge is the engine that drives your first step forward. Chapter 4. Learn before you earn. Before money grows in your pocket, it must grow in your mind. This is one of the biggest secrets of wealth. People often chase income before understanding how money truly works. But learning always comes before earning. The difference between rich and poor is not luck, it is knowledge. Rich people spend years learning how money moves, how business works, and how value is created. Poor people spend years working hard without learning why their money disappears. Hard work without wisdom becomes a trap. When you start with $10, your first goal is not to make it bigger right away. Your goal is to learn what to do with it. $10 can buy many things, but the most powerful thing it can buy is knowledge. Buy a book that teaches you something useful. Buy a course that explains a new skill. Buy materials to practice something valuable. That small investment will return many times over. You may think learning is slow, but it saves you from big mistakes later. Knowledge protects you the way a map protects a traveler. Without it, you may move fast, but in the wrong direction. With it, every step takes you closer to your goal. There is a reason why the most successful people never stop learning. They understand that money is only a reflection of what they know. When your knowledge grows, your earning power grows naturally. You can lose all your money and still rise again if your mind is trained. But if you have no knowledge, even a fortune can vanish quickly. Learning also builds confidence. When you understand how something works, fear disappears. You make better choices because you know why you are doing them. You stop guessing and start planning. That is the power of education. You do not need to go to a big school to learn. You can learn from books, videos, people, and experiences. Every mistake teaches something important. Every conversation can open a new idea. Keep your mind open and hungry. Curiosity is a free ticket to wealth. One small idea can change everything. A new way of thinking can turn your $10 into 1,000 over time. But first, you must train your mind to see possibilities instead of problems. The more you learn, the more connections you make. You begin to notice patterns and opportunities that others miss. Learning also builds patience. It teaches you that progress takes time, that every result is born from effort, focus, and understanding. You learn that shortcuts are illusions. Real success grows slowly, but stays strong. Think of your mind as a bank. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every mistake you study, all of it is a deposit. Soon, that mental bank starts paying interest. Your thoughts become sharper. Your decisions become wiser. Your actions become more powerful. Do not be afraid to be a beginner. Every master was once a student. Every great investor, business person, or leader started with curiosity. They asked questions, they explored, and they practiced. You can do the same. If you truly want to earn more, make learning your daily habit. Even 10 minutes of reading or listening each day adds up. Knowledge compounds like money. It grows quietly in the background and changes everything over time. So before you chase the next dollar, pause and ask yourself, what can I learn today that will make my next step wiser? Because the more you learn, the less you lose. And the less you lose, the faster you grow. Learning turns effort into direction and experience into advantage. It is the foundation on which lasting wealth is built. So start small. Start today. Learn something that will help you tomorrow. Because once your mind is rich, your life will soon follow. Now that you understand the power of learning, it is time to meet the next great teacher on your journey, patience. In the next chapter, we will explore the magic of patience. Because time is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. Chapter 5. The magic of patience. We live in a world of instant results. People want everything fast. Fast money, fast success, fast recognition. But the truth is, real wealth never comes overnight. It grows slowly, quietly, and steadily. Patience is the secret force behind every fortune. If you start with $10, do not expect it to multiply immediately. The first few days or weeks may feel slow or even disappointing. But that is normal. Money, like a seed, needs time to grow roots before it can sprout. Your job is to water it, nurture it, and protect it. Time does the rest. Patience teaches you discipline. It stops you from making foolish decisions out of fear or greed. When you wait, you observe. You learn more. You prepare better. And when the right moment comes, you act with power, not panic. Most failures happen because people give up too soon. They expect quick results, and when the first attempt does not succeed, they abandon the path. But those who persist quietly build strength over time. They understand that small, consistent actions lead to extraordinary results. Think of a river carving through rock. It does not rush. It does not panic. It simply flows. Over years, it creates valleys, shapes landscapes, and nourishes life. That is the power of patient persistence. Patience also allows compounding to work its magic. When you save a little, invest a little, or learn a little consistently, your efforts multiply over time. Even your smallest actions gain power when repeated. The $10 you use wisely today can grow into much more if you give it time. Life tests your patience in small ways. A slow result, a delayed opportunity, a minor failure. These are not obstacles. They are lessons. They teach you to endure, adapt, and continue. When you are patient, you think long-term. You stop chasing immediate pleasure and focus on lasting rewards. You understand that temporary discomfort leads to permanent gain. You stop comparing your progress to others. You focus on your own path, your own growth, and your own results. Patience also reduces mistakes. When you rush, you spend carelessly, invest foolishly, or make impulsive choices. When you wait, you think carefully. You observe patterns. You make decisions that multiply your effort instead of wasting it. The $10 in your hand today is a teacher of patience. It shows you that small beginnings require time. It reminds you that growth cannot be forced. It encourages you to trust the process and believe in the journey. Patience is also connected to faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in your vision. Faith in the value of small, consistent actions. When you combine patience with action, you become unstoppable. Every successful person you admire had one thing in common. They did not quit. They endured. They waited. They allowed their efforts to compound silently until the results became visible. Your $10 may seem small today. It may feel insignificant. But with patience, it can teach you how to think like a builder. It can teach you that slow growth is still growth. It can teach you that consistent effort is more powerful than one big leap. So do not rush. Do not panic. Do not compare. Use your $10 wisely, act consistently, and trust the process. Over time, patience will turn your small start into a strong foundation. And now that you understand the power of patience, it is time to learn the next secret of lasting wealth. In the next chapter, we will explore building habits, not hype. Because the actions you repeat every day define your future more than anything else. Chapter 6. Build habits, not hype. Success is not built in a day. It is not created by one big action. It is built quietly, slowly, through habits. Habits are the small choices you make every day. They define your future more than talent, luck, or timing. Most people chase hype. They look for the next big opportunity. They follow trends. They spend energy on things that look exciting. But hype fades quickly. Habits last forever. The $10 you start with is a perfect tool to build habits. Decide how to use it wisely every day. Maybe you save a little. Maybe you invest a little. Maybe you buy a book that teaches you something valuable. The important thing is repetition. Doing it once is not enough. Doing it consistently creates results that last a lifetime. Habits shape your identity. When you repeat good actions, you start to see yourself differently. You become a saver. You become a learner. You become a builder. Your mind changes first, and then your reality follows. The small daily actions you take may seem unimportant. They may feel slow or boring. But this is where most people fail. They underestimate the power of repetition. They wait for a miracle instead of creating one. Every great fortune is built on the foundation of repeated small actions. Focus on actions, not outcomes. Do not worry about doubling your $10 in a day. Do not worry about getting rich quickly. Focus on doing the right things every day. Save a little. Learn a little. Practice a little. Build the habit, and the result will follow. Consistency also creates momentum. Once a habit is formed, it becomes easier to continue. Your actions start to flow naturally. Your discipline becomes automatic. You no longer have to force yourself. You simply follow the system you created. Habits also protect you from mistakes. When you act impulsively, you spend without thinking, make poor decisions, or lose opportunities. When you act consistently, your actions are deliberate and controlled. Your money works with you, not against you. The $10 is your first teacher in habit building. Use it daily to practice discipline. Use it to train your mind to think like a builder. Every time you make a choice to invest, save, or learn, you strengthen your habits. Every time you choose wisely, you reinforce the pattern that leads to success. Habits are also invisible until results appear. You may not notice progress at first. You may feel like nothing is changing. But the work is happening quietly. Like roots growing under the soil, your small daily actions are preparing for growth that will eventually appear above ground. Do not underestimate small wins. Saving $1 today may feel small. Reading one page of a book today may seem slow. But repeated over weeks and months, these small actions compound into extraordinary results. Your habits are the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The world rewards people who can delay gratification. It rewards patience, persistence, and repetition. Hype is tempting, but it is unreliable. Habits are steady, strong, and unstoppable. So choose your actions wisely. Do something meaningful every day. Repeat it consistently. Even small actions will grow over time. That is the power of habits. Now that you understand how habits shape your future, it is time to take your next step. In the next chapter, we will explore turning spending into investing, because every dollar you spend can either build your freedom or destroy it. Chapter 7. Turn. Spending into investing. Money is a tool. How you use it decides your future. Most people spend money to feel good for a moment. They buy things they do not need. They follow trends. They waste what could have been powerful. The difference between the rich and the poor is not how much they earn. It is how they use what they have. The poor spend for pleasure today. The rich spend to create more tomorrow. Every dollar becomes either a servant or a master. Your $10 is a perfect teacher for this lesson. It may seem small, but how you use it today will shape your habits tomorrow. Spend it carelessly, and you teach your mind that money is for waste. Spend it wisely, and you teach your mind that money is a tool to create value. Investing is simply spending with purpose. Every time you use money, ask yourself one question. Does this action make me richer or poorer? If it makes you richer, it is an investment. If it makes you poorer, it is a cost. The key is awareness. If you spend without thinking, you are giving away opportunity. If you spend with intention, every dollar works for you. Investing does not require a lot of money. It begins with ideas, learning, or small actions. You can invest your $10 in a book that teaches a skill. You can invest in a tool that helps you earn more. You can invest in materials to create something of value. Even a small choice like this builds a mindset of growth. The rich do not wait to have enough to invest. They invest first, learn from the process, and grow. The poor wait until they have more and then spend it carelessly. The lesson is clear. Start now. Start small. The act of investing trains your mind to focus on long-term results. Turning spending into investing also changes your behavior. When you view every dollar as a potential worker, you make smarter decisions. You avoid unnecessary purchases. You seek opportunities to create value. Your money becomes a tool, not a toy. Your choices become deliberate, not impulsive. Investing also teaches patience. The results may not appear today or tomorrow. They may take time. But over weeks, months, and years, the effects multiply. $10 used wisely today can grow into much more tomorrow. The principle is simple. Do not just earn. Do not just spend. Invest in ways that expand your skills, knowledge, and resources. This approach turns small money into experience, experience into skill, and skill into wealth. Remember, it is not the amount that matters. It is the habit of investing that counts. $1 saved today is better than 100 spent carelessly. A small investment teaches discipline, foresight, and strategic thinking. These lessons are more valuable than money itself. Your $10 is a starting point. It is a seed. It is a test of how well you can manage resources. If you learn to invest small amounts wisely, you are preparing for larger sums in the future. You are learning the language of wealth. You are training your mind to see opportunity instead of expense. Do not wait for a perfect moment. Do not wait for perfect knowledge. Start now. Spend a little with purpose. Turn every dollar into a worker. And watch as your habits transform your future. Now that you understand how to turn spending into investing, the next step is even more powerful. In the next chapter, we will explore multiplying your skills, because your abilities are the greatest asset you will ever own. Chapter 8. Multiply your skills. Your most valuable asset is not money. It is not property or gold. It is your skills. Skills are the ability to solve problems, create value, and help others. When you improve your skills, your earning power grows naturally. Money follows skill, not the other way around. The $10 in your hand today can be used to build skills. It may buy a book that teaches something new. It may pay for materials to practice a craft. It may allow you to learn a small technique that becomes a lifelong advantage. Even a tiny investment in yourself can pay huge dividends in the future. Most people focus on earning more money without improving themselves. This is why so many struggle despite working hard. You can have a fortune in your hands, but without skills, it may disappear quickly. Your abilities are permanent. They travel with you everywhere. They create opportunities no one can take away. Multiplying your skills also increases your confidence. When you know you can do something well, fear loses its power. You take action without hesitation. You spot opportunities where others see only challenges. Your mind becomes sharper, and your vision becomes clearer. Start with small skills that are practical and useful. Learn how to communicate effectively. Learn how to sell or create something valuable. Learn how to manage time or money. Every new ability is a multiplier for your future success. Do not worry about mastering everything at once. Focus on one skill at a time. Practice it daily. Repeat it until it becomes second nature. Then move to the next skill. Over time, your abilities will compound just like money. The key is action. Skills are worthless if they remain unused. Apply what you learn. Even small efforts teach experience. Experience grows into mastery. Mastery creates opportunities. Your $10 is not just a small amount of money. It is a teacher. It shows you how to begin learning without fear. It teaches you to invest in yourself before you invest in anything else. It reminds you that growth is more valuable than spending. Do not underestimate the power of consistent practice. Daily improvement, no matter how small, multiplies over time. 10 minutes of practice a day may seem trivial, but weeks and months of repetition turn it into skill that others pay for. Skills also create freedom. The more you can do, the less you depend on others. You can solve problems, create solutions, and earn independently. Skills are portable wealth. You carry them with you anywhere, anytime. Another advantage of multiplying skills is resilience. When challenges appear, you can adapt and overcome. When opportunities appear, you can act confidently. Skills give you control over your life. Money alone cannot do this. So take your $10 and invest it in learning. Read, practice, experiment, and repeat. Each small step makes you stronger, smarter, and more capable. Your abilities are the foundation for everything you want to achieve. Once you start multiplying skills, you will notice opportunities appearing everywhere. People will value your knowledge and abilities. Doors will open that money alone could never unlock. And your $10 will feel like the first brick in a much larger structure. Now that you understand the power of skill, it is time to protect what you build. In the next chapter, we will explore Protect What You Build. Because creating wealth is only meaningful if you learn to keep it. Chapter 9. Protect what you build. Earning and growing money is only part of the journey. The next step is protecting what you build. Many people work hard, save, and invest, but still end up with nothing. The reason is simple. They do not protect their wealth. Your first $10 may seem small, but it teaches a big lesson. It shows you how to care for what you have. Every dollar you save or invest must be watched carefully. Neglect it, and it disappears. Guard it, and it grows quietly over time. Protection starts with habits. Save before you spend. Think before you act. Do not let emotion control your decisions. Impulse spending is one of the biggest threats to building wealth. Even a little carelessness today can undo months of effort. Insurance is another form of protection. It may not feel exciting, but it shields you from unexpected problems. A small investment in security today prevents a large loss tomorrow. Learn to plan for risk, not just reward. Protection also means knowledge. Understand what you invest in. Learn the rules before entering a business. Study the market before buying or selling. When you know the terrain, you are less likely to make mistakes. Diversification is a simple way to reduce risk. Do not put all your resources in one place. Spread your effort and money across different opportunities. Even small amounts saved in different ways can reduce the chance of loss. Your $10 can teach you this principle. Do not spend it all in one place or one idea. Use it carefully. Test things slowly. Observe results before making bigger decisions. Discipline is key. Protecting wealth requires self-control. The ability to say no to immediate pleasure is more important than the ability to earn quickly. Every dollar you keep and grow builds not just money, but character. Character is the true foundation of lasting wealth. Beware of debt. Borrowing money carelessly is one of the fastest ways to lose what you earn. Debt forces you to work for others and drains your freedom. Only use borrowed money for investments that you fully understand. Never rely on luck to pay off obligations. Record keeping is another form of protection. Know what you have, where it is, and how it is used. Tracking your money is not boring. It is powerful. It shows patterns, mistakes, and opportunities. Patience also protects wealth. Do not rush to spend, sell, or gamble. Let your resources grow steadily. Quick gains are tempting, but they are often dangerous. Your first $10 is not just a start. It is a lesson in care. It teaches you that wealth is fragile at first. It teaches you that discipline, foresight, and planning are as important as earning. Protecting what you build is also a mindset. Every choice you make should consider future consequences. Every action should strengthen your foundation. This mindset separates temporary gain from lasting freedom. Remember, your journey is not only about creating wealth. It is about creating security. You can earn endlessly, but if you cannot protect your earnings, nothing lasts. Start small. Practice protection with your $10. Save a little, invest wisely, and think ahead. Once you master protection, your wealth becomes more than money. It becomes stability, freedom, and opportunity. And stability allows you to focus on growth. Now that you understand the importance of protection, it is time to learn the next secret. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of giving. Because wealth grows not just by keeping, but by sharing and creating value for others. Chapter 10. The Power of Giving. Giving may seem strange when you are just starting with $10. Many people think they must wait until they have plenty before they can give. But the truth is, giving is one of the fastest ways to grow. When you give, you show the world and yourself that you have enough to share. Giving is not about losing, it is about multiplying. There are many ways to give. You can give your time, your knowledge, your kindness, or your resources. Even a simple smile or helping hand counts. When you give, you create value for others, and the world always rewards value. Giving builds trust and reputation. People remember those who help them. They return the kindness in ways you cannot imagine. Sometimes, a small act of giving leads to opportunities that change your life. This is why the richest people often give the most. They understand the invisible laws of energy and relationships. Giving also shifts your mindset. When you are generous, you stop thinking in scarcity. You stop fearing that there is never enough. Generosity teaches gratitude. Gratitude opens your eyes to abundance that is already around you. The more you appreciate what you have, the more the universe gives you. Even with $10, you can start small. Maybe you share your knowledge with someone who needs it. Maybe you buy something useful for a friend or a stranger. Maybe you donate a tiny portion to a cause that matters. It does not matter how small the act is. What matters is the intention behind it. Giving also strengthens your confidence. When you give, you realize you are capable of making a difference. You see that your actions matter, This belief spreads into every part of your life. Your courage grows. Your creativity grows. Your power grows. Many people avoid giving because they think it will weaken them financially. The truth is the opposite. When you give, you open the door for abundance to flow back to you. It is like planting seeds. Some seeds go into the soil, and later they return as a tree with fruits. Generosity works the same way. Giving creates a cycle of positivity. You give, someone benefits, they give in return, or pass it forward, and energy continues to move. This cycle builds communities, friendships, and opportunities. It makes the world better, and it makes you stronger. The power of giving is also in its consistency. Small acts done regularly are more powerful than rare grand gestures. When you build a habit of giving, you create a life of value. And when your life adds value to others, wealth naturally follows. Remember, giving does not mean losing control. It does not mean neglecting your needs. It means using what you have wisely to create more for everyone. Your $10 can start this process. It can be the spark that lights a chain reaction of growth. Giving also teaches patience. You do not always see immediate rewards, but in time, your generosity returns in ways far greater than what you offered. This is one of the greatest secrets of wealth. It is not only about accumulation, it is about circulation. Money, energy, and value must move to grow. When you embrace giving, you shift from thinking only about yourself to thinking about others and the bigger picture. This shift expands your opportunities, your relationships, and your mind. You become a magnet for abundance, knowledge, and respect. Giving turns scarcity into prosperity. It turns fear into courage. It turns a single $10 into a powerful force. So begin today. Find one small way to give. Do it with intention and love. Watch how it changes you, your world, and the path to wealth. The habit of giving is one of the most important steps in building true freedom. And now that you understand the power of giving, it is time to learn about compounding. In the next chapter, we will discover how your money and efforts can grow quietly and exponentially over time. Chapter 11. Let compounding work for you. Compounding is one of the most powerful secrets of wealth. It is simple, yet most people ignore it. Compounding means letting your money or effort grow over time. The small actions you take today can produce results tomorrow, then more results the next day, and so on. It is the magic of growth multiplying itself quietly. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it is tiny. But as it rolls, it gathers more snow, getting bigger and faster. Compounding works the same way with money, skills, and habits. The key is to start early and let time do the work. Even your $10 can benefit from compounding. If you invest it wisely or use it to learn a skill, it grows slowly at first. You may not notice much in the beginning, but over weeks, months, and years, that small start can become significant. Time is your most powerful ally when it comes to compounding. Compounding is not only about money, it also applies to knowledge. Every book you read, every skill you practice, and every habit you build grows over time. The first small effort may seem almost invisible, but it adds up quietly. Soon, you find that your small beginnings have created a strong foundation. Most people fail at compounding because they expect immediate results. They give up too early. They spend their money carelessly, stop learning, or abandon good habits. The compounding effect only works when you are consistent and patient. It grows quietly, without drama, but it is unstoppable if left uninterrupted. Think about planting a tree. You do not expect fruit on the first day. You water it, care for it, and let it grow. In time, it becomes strong and bears fruit for years. Compounding is the same principle. Small deposits of effort and money accumulate into lasting abundance. The secret to compounding is consistency. Even tiny amounts, if added regularly, become powerful. Even small habits, repeated daily, become automatic and life-changing. It is better to start small and keep going than to wait for the perfect opportunity or large sum. Patience is also essential. Do not measure progress too soon. Do not compare yourself to others. Your journey is unique. The compounding effect rewards steady action over time. It is silent but unstoppable. Another key to compounding is reinvestment. Do not spend what you earn immediately. Let it work for you. Let your money earn more money. Let your knowledge create new opportunities. Let your habits strengthen themselves through repetition. Compounding also teaches humility and discipline. It reminds you that growth cannot be rushed. It shows the value of careful planning and consistent effort. It rewards the patient and disciplined more than the lucky or hasty. By embracing compounding, you turn time into a powerful partner. You make small beginnings grow into meaningful outcomes. Your $10, your first habit, your first skill, all become seeds. Seeds that, with time and care, transform into trees of opportunity, freedom, and abundance. Never underestimate the quiet power of growth. It works even when you do not notice it. It multiplies what you plant and rewards faith, consistency, and patience. The earlier you start, the stronger the effect. So take your $10, your first habit, your first lesson. Feed them regularly. Be patient and watch them grow. Compounding is the secret to turning small beginnings into life-changing results. And now that you understand the magic of compounding, it is time to learn the final chapter of building wealth. In the next chapter, we will explore your $10 mindset forever. This is where all the lessons come together to guide your life for freedom and success. Chapter 12. Your $10 mindset forever. The real lesson of this book is not about the $10. It is about the mindset you develop when you start with $10. This mindset is more valuable than any amount of money. It is the foundation of freedom, abundance, and success. When you learn to respect a small amount, you learn to respect yourself. When you learn to grow a little, you learn how to grow a lot. When you learn to act with patience, discipline, and purpose, you learn how to live with power. The $10 is only a tool. The mindset is the treasure. Your mindset is built from small choices. Every decision to save, learn, or invest adds strength. Every habit you form, every act of giving, every moment of patience shapes who you are. Over time, these small choices combine to create extraordinary results. The $10 mindset teaches you that wealth begins within. It is not about luck, inheritance, or opportunity. It is about focus, discipline, and consistent action. It is about seeing possibilities where others see limitations. It is about creating value and attracting abundance. This mindset also teaches resilience. You will face challenges, setbacks, and doubts along the way. But when you start small, you learn that failure is not the end. It is a lesson. It is part of the journey. Every mistake gives you insight to move forward, smarter and stronger. The $10 mindset is about courage. It is about starting even when the odds seem against you. It is about acting when others are still waiting. It is about trusting yourself and your potential. The mindset is also about vision. You learn to see opportunities before they appear. You learn to think long-term instead of seeking instant results. You learn to measure success not by what you have today, but by what you are becoming. Generosity is a part of this mindset. When you give, you create energy that comes back to you multiplied. When you help others, you strengthen your own path. When you respect money, knowledge, and time, you attract more of all three. Compounding becomes second nature. You understand that small actions repeated consistently become powerful over time. Every dollar, every skill, every habit is like a seed. If nurtured, it grows quietly but relentlessly into something extraordinary. This mindset changes your relationship with risk. You no longer fear starting small. You know that effort compounded over time is safer than waiting for luck. You understand that every moment wasted is lost potential. You value time more than anything else. The $10 mindset also teaches gratitude. You learn to appreciate what you have while building what you want. Gratitude attracts more opportunities, more resources, and more clarity. It keeps you grounded while reaching higher. Remember, the journey of wealth is never truly about money alone. It is about freedom, choice, and growth. It is about becoming a person who can create opportunities, overcome challenges, and give back. The $10 was your start. Your mindset is your lifelong companion. Now you have all the tools. You know the power of starting small. You know how to see money differently. You know the importance of action, learning, patience, habits, giving, and compounding. But most importantly, you know that your mind is the most powerful tool you own. Carry this mindset forever. Let it guide your choices. Let it shape your habits. Let it create wealth not just in money, but in knowledge, freedom, and happiness. The $10 was small, but the lessons are immense. Start today. Act consistently. Think wisely. Give generously. Be patient. And let your mind turn small beginnings into a life of abundance. This is your $10 mindset forever. It is simple, powerful, and unstoppable. It is the key to your financial freedom and your life of opportunity.